Ever wonder what crazy ideas once soared in our imaginations, only to be grounded by reality? Welcome to our deep dive into some of aviation's wildest experiments. Today, we're exploring the top 10 aviation innovations that, despite their out-of-this-world concepts, never quite made it into everyday use. These projects pushed the boundaries of what was possible, taught us countless lessons, and continue to inspire new breakthroughs, even if they didn't end up in the fleet. So, buckle up and join us on this fascinating journey through the history of daring, experimental designs. Number 1. The Avrocar, the disc-shaped VTOL experiment. Imagine a flying saucer, a disc-shaped vehicle that could take off vertically and hover effortlessly. That was the vision behind the Avrocar, developed in the 1950s and 1960s in Canada. Engineers dreamed up a craft that could navigate difficult terrains and provide rapid battlefield deployment. In concept, it looked like something from a science fiction movie. However, reality proved a tougher opponent. The Avrocar's design led to severe aerodynamic instability. The circular shape, while eye-catching, didn't allow for the efficient generation of lift required to sustain flight. Pilots and engineers soon discovered that controlling the craft was more of a balancing act than a reliable mode of transport. Extensive testing revealed that the Avrocar's performance issues couldn't be resolved with the technology of its time. Despite its shortcomings, the Avrocar remains a beloved icon of aviation history, a reminder that even the most imaginative designs must contend with the unforgiving laws of physics. From the wild world of flying saucers, let's move on to another idea that dared to blend vertical and horizontal flight into one versatile package. Number 2. Lockheed XFV Flying Jeep, the tail-sitter fighter. Next up is the Lockheed XFV, affectionately nicknamed the Flying Jeep. This quirky aircraft was designed as a tail-sitter fighter, an aircraft that would stand vertically on the runway, take off straight up, and then smoothly transition into horizontal flight. The promise here was versatility. Imagine an aircraft that doesn't need a long runway, making it ideal for remote locations or carrier operations. In theory, the XFV could quickly launch into action and then engage in conventional aerial combat. Unfortunately, the transition phase between vertical takeoff and horizontal flight proved to be a major challenge. Pilots found the control during this phase incredibly difficult. The aircraft's unstable attitude during the critical shift led to numerous test flight issues. Even though the idea was groundbreaking, the execution fell short and the project was shelved before it could advance further. The Flying Jeep is now remembered as an emblem of how bold ideas must eventually meet the rigorous demands of practical flight control. After the ups and downs of vertical to horizontal flight, let's dive into a design that reimagined wing shapes entirely. Number 3. Vought XF5U, Flying Flapjack, the flat-winged fighter. The Vought XF5U, nicknamed Flying Flapjack, took a completely different approach by sporting a flat, disc-like wing configuration. This design was envisioned to offer unparalleled speed and maneuverability, breaking away from traditional fighter aircraft aesthetics. In laboratory tests and early prototypes, the XF5U promised a fighter that could outpace its competitors with its radical aerodynamic profile. However, when the rubber met the road, severe structural problems emerged. The flat-wing design struggled with issues related to stress and airflow. The materials of the time couldn't support the extreme conditions generated during high-speed maneuvers. Despite the initial excitement, the XF5U never progressed beyond the prototype stage. Its story is a classic example of a concept that looked fantastic on paper, but couldn't withstand the practical challenges of real-world flight. It teaches us that sometimes pushing the envelope too far can lead to an idea that's too ahead of its time. Now let's shift our focus from fighter experiments to a bomber that aimed to revolutionize stealth and efficiency with an entirely new design. Number 4. Northrop YB-49, the Flying Wing bomber. Developed during the early Cold War, the Northrop YB-49 was an ambitious project that embraced the flying wing design. With a tailless, integrated wing structure, the YB-49 was designed to reduce radar detection while boosting fuel efficiency, a real game-changer in an era when stealth was just beginning to be understood. The design was sleek and futuristic, promising a bomber that could evade enemy radars and fly long distances without refueling. However, the lack of traditional tail and control surfaces introduced significant stability issues. During test flights, the aircraft's handling proved erratic, making it too risky for operational use. Even though the YB-49 was eventually canceled, its development provided valuable data that has influenced stealth and bomber designs ever since. It's a testament to the fact that even when an idea doesn't fly, the lessons it teaches can have lasting impacts on future innovations. From the realm of bombers, we now venture into an audacious experiment that sought to merge ground power with air mobility. Number 5. Antonov A-40 Flying Tank, the Combined Arms Experiment. Imagine the ability to airlift a tank directly onto the battlefield. That's the radical idea behind the Antonov A-40 flying tank, developed during World War II. The concept was straightforward, yet bold. Attach a conventional tank to a modified bomber, and then drop it where needed to provide armored support. In theory, this would allow for rapid deployment of heavy armor without the limitations of traditional transport methods. However, when engineers attempted to bring this idea to life, they were met with enormous challenges. The weight of the tank created significant aerodynamic drag, and managing the combined unit in flight proved nearly impossible. The A-40 ultimately demonstrated that some ideas, no matter how innovative, can be too complex to integrate seamlessly. While the project was ultimately impractical, it remains a fascinating example of the lengths to which engineers have gone to rethink battlefield logistics. Leaving behind the world of tanks in the sky, we now explore a concept that reimagined fighter deployment by playing with the idea of stealth and surprise. Number 6. McDonnell XF-85 Goblin, the Parasite Fighter. The McDonnell XF-85 Goblin was designed as a parasite fighter, a tiny aircraft that could be housed inside a larger bomber and launched to engage enemy fighters at a moment's notice. This ingenious idea was meant to give the bomber an extra edge, acting as a hidden ace up its sleeve. However, as the development progressed, the practical challenges became apparent. The Goblin's small size limited its performance, and integrating it with its host bomber proved to be a complex puzzle. Flight tests highlighted issues with size, stability, and overall effectiveness in combat scenarios. Although the Goblin never entered active service, its legacy lives on as an innovative attempt to change the rules of aerial engagement. It's a quirky chapter in aviation history that reminds us that sometimes even the most creative ideas face obstacles that can't be overcome. Moving from the stealthy parasite fighter, let's explore a project that aimed to revolutionize vertical takeoff by blending the best of fixed-wing and rotary-wing technology. Number 7. Bell X-22, the tilt-ducted fan VTOL experiment. The Bell X-22 was an experimental aircraft that used tilt-ducted fan technology to achieve vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, while still maintaining the efficiency of fixed-wing flight. This design was all about agility. Imagine an aircraft that could hover like a helicopter and then zoom away like a jet. The promise was enormous: enhanced maneuverability in tight spaces and the ability to operate from almost anywhere. Unfortunately, the X-22 ran into serious technical difficulties. Mechanical complexities and erratic flight behavior during testing made it clear that the technology wasn't quite ready for prime time. Though the project was eventually shelved, the X-22 contributed crucial data that helped inform later VTOL designs. Its story underscores the idea that failure is often a stepping stone to success in the world of innovation. With the challenges of VTOL behind us, we now turn to a modern fighter design that, despite its eye-catching innovation, didn't meet the necessary benchmarks to move forward. Number 8. Boeing X-32, the unconventional strike fighter. The Boeing X-32 was one of the contenders in the Joint Strike Fighter competition, sporting a radically unconventional design aimed at maximizing stealth and combat performance. Its layout broke away from traditional fighter norms, integrating advanced materials and aerodynamics into a new fighter concept. The X-32 was an exciting prospect, but it couldn't quite balance performance with cost and the practical needs of modern warfare. Extensive testing revealed that while the design was innovative, it struggled to meet all the stringent operational requirements. Ultimately, the project lost out to a more refined alternative, serving as a reminder that even the boldest ideas must prove themselves in a competitive arena. Next, we venture into the realm of unconventional wing designs, ideas that push the envelope of what we thought was aerodynamically possible. Number 9. Sukhoi Su-47 Berkut, the forward-swept wing experiment. The Sukhoi Su-47, affectionately known as Berkut or Golden Eagle, was built to explore the potential of forward-swept wings. This design promised exceptional agility and speed, pushing the boundaries of conventional fighter design. During its experimental flights, the Su-47 impressed many with its innovative aerodynamic performance. However, the forward-swept configuration came with a catch: severe structural challenges. challenges. The wings under high stress proved too difficult to reinforce with the materials available at the time. Though the Su-47 never entered production, its development has informed subsequent research into advanced fighter designs. It stands as a testament to the idea that pushing design boundaries can yield valuable insights, even when the project itself doesn't fly. Finally, we arrive at a project born out of wartime urgency, a daring design that, despite its technical brilliance, couldn't keep pace with the rapidly changing demands of combat. Number 10. Dornier Do 335 File, the push-pull prototype. Our final entry is the Dornier Do 335, nicknamed File Arrow. Developed during World War II, the Do 335 featured a unique push-pull engine configuration, with one engine mounted at the front and another at the rear. This setup was designed to optimize thrust and speed, creating a high-performance aircraft with a distinctive silhouette. The innovative design, however, came with significant challenges. Synchronizing two engines and managing the resulting handling characteristics proved to be a complex engineering problem. Although the Do 335 demonstrated remarkable ingenuity and potential, these technical difficulties ultimately limited its production and operational use. Despite its shortcomings, the Dornier Do 335 remain a fascinating chapter in aviation history, a symbol of the relentless drive to innovate, even under the pressures of war. As we wrap up our exploration of these bold aviation experiments, we're left with one thought-provoking question. How do you think these daring projects, despite their shortcomings, have paved the way for the innovations we see in military aviation today? Each of these prototypes has taught us valuable lessons about the limits of technology, the challenges of pushing boundaries, and the enduring spirit of creativity. Now, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think was the most intriguing project, and what lessons do you believe these experiments offer for the future of flight? If you enjoyed this deep dive into aviation history, please take a moment to like this video, share your comments below, and subscribe to militaryAir for more fascinating insights and behind-the-scenes stories from the world of military aviation. Your support helps us keep exploring and sharing the incredible journey of innovation that continues to shape our skies. Stay curious, and thanks for watching.